closer. Pull me closer. Pull me closer. Pull me closer. Pull me closer.
Hello. Hey, family, what's happening? This is Rich Wall Street Williams. I'm so excited. We've been talking about this Motive 8 podcast for some time now, and we live and in the building. So if there's any technical difficulties that happen, just keep in mind that we are actually live. And listen, man, I got to tell you something. I am super excited. Man, first of all, let me tell you something. Every day is a great day. When you get up in the morning, if you're above the ground, it is a great day. That's my mindset. That's my mission. I'm always excited. I'm always thankful and grateful for opportunities because I discovered long ago that thankful people, grateful people will see more, do more, experience more than unthankful and ungrateful people. So I'm just super excited, with Motivate Podcast. It gives me an opportunity, it gives us an opportunity, a platform to have stimulating conversations. And these conversations are not necessarily the opinions that I share or view, but the opinion and views of the people that I have on the show. And I'm really excited. We got some episodes that we're going to be launching out, showing momentarily. Well, not momentarily, meaning later this month. We got episodes where we're focusing in on, we're launching this and starting with a series of episodes on how to be elite and have an elite mindset for success. How to have an elite and how to be elite and have an elite mindset for success. So I have some individuals that I'm telling you that's going to bring the heat. They're going to bring the fire as it relates to being in lead and having a champion's mindset. So, what is the Motivate podcast? The Motivate podcast, for me, it is a platform where I can share from or we have conversations on what I refer to as the 8 pillars in our life. Now, I didn't discover these 8 pillars; they're not Rich's 8 pillars. Based upon these 8 pillars, right? The Motivate podcast is the idea of incorporating 8 pillars of our daily routine. See, success is hidden in your daily routine. Success is hidden in your daily routine. If you would stop and examine the components, the systems, the behavior, the actions that's in your daily routine, it is going to predict and determine future success. See, I understand that who I am and what I'm experiencing today is a result of who I was and what I was and what I was thinking in the past. Who I am today is directly related to who I was yesterday. The thought patterns of yesterday produced the lifestyle of today. Does that make sense? And so we're going to go through these 8 areas, and the 8 areas are our physical life, our physical body. There are things that we can do for our health. I'm 57 years old, and I got to tell you, friend, I don't know what 57 is supposed to feel like. Over the past week and a half, we moved. And so, moving is always an adventure. So we moved and we had boxes on top of boxes. And listen, let me tell you, shout out to my lovely wife, Leslie. Leslie was a trooper. She took off a whole week from work and she worked on unpacking boxes and putting things away. She had a good friend come from Pennsylvania, Lori Wright. I don't know if Lori's seeing this. Sister Lori, thank you so much. She came and spent a day with Leslie. And Leslie just went in and worked at it, man. And I helped in the evening, but I'm working, right? So So we moved into this place, and for the past week and a half, it's been preparing to move and then moving, and now the life afterwards, right? So during that time, so I'm generally up at 5 o'clock in the morning and working out. So for the past 2 weeks, I couldn't work out the way that I wanted to work out. What's the point? What you're trying to make? So I had to find ways to physically get in and do something about this temple, because it is extremely, extremely important how we take care of. And we'll go through the 8 pillars. But I want you to understand, friend, that MAP, that's just abbreviated version of Motivate Podcast. By the way, trademark. Right? So the Motivate Podcast. What about by understanding these 8 pillars? Let me say it again. We are committed to the idea that we can live an enjoyable and healthy life by understanding the 8 pillars. And I'm going to quickly overview the 8 pillars. But throughout the conversations on Motivate Podcast, man, it's going to be conversations around, the physical life, our nutritional life, our emotional well-being, our social well-being, our spiritual well-being, our intellectual well-being, our financial well-being, and of course, our environment. So here's a quick look at what these 8, a quick summary. One body, you got one shot. You got one body, friend, and you got one shot. A number of years ago, my mother passed away, and I watched her health decline for a period of about 2 years. And I encourage your mom, you got to do different things. You got to change your eating habit. You already have sugar diabetes. You already, the doctors have diagnosed you with high blood pressure. From what the research that I've done, both of them can be, can be treated in our diet. High blood pressure, diabetes. This is called it a diet disease. Hey, mom, you got to do this, right? Her response to me was, hey, honey, you got to dive something. I watched my mom's health decline over the years. I watched her cataract in her vision in her eyes. I watched her, and she started to lose her sight. Eventually, she lost about 95% of her sight. She started to lose mobility. She started to use her mental capacity. And again, I watched this over a period of about 2 or 3 years when her health began to decline. I was like, Mom, you got one body, you got one shot. And when she passed away, I made a personal commitment that I'm going to be committed to my success. And one of the areas I'm going to be committed to my success is my physical health. As I mentioned earlier, man, I'm 57 years old, man. And I don't know what 57 people say you're supposed to have these creaky knees and aches and sores and pains. Every once in a while I have that. And we all do. But man, when I get up, my body doesn't have the right to hinder me and to delay me or to tell me what to do as it relates to the things that I believe God has placed on my heart to do. Right. And so this is all part of, understanding the 8 pillars of life. Right. And so you got one body, you got one shot, the nutritional value of our life. Car, hello, if you put cheap gas in your car, that's going to affect the performance. No wonder you're tired at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. You fall asleep and you got to sneak out into your car to take a nap. Hey, man, your body needs fuel. Understand the nutritional value of the food that you need, that you're putting into your body. whether you have some protein, some meat diet, whether you are vegetarian, it doesn't matter. We still have to examine the food that we put in our body, right? So part of my one body, one shot, I started looking at the type of food. I reduced the amount of fried food. Now I still love fried chicken. Stereotype, call it what you want. I don't care. I still love fried fish. As a matter of fact, I might fry some fish this weekend for my family, but it's in moderation. Is what I'm trying to tell you. We use a different type of oil, etc. Um, oh, here's a thought. Hey, man, go out and get yourself an air fryer. We got an air fryer. Oh, I can't tell you, man. That air fryer is fire, fuego, right? But this is all part of the nutritional part of our life. Nutrition is fuel for the body. It's fuel for the body. It is fuel for the body. Then your emotional, how we think and feel. Emotions aren't right or wrong. They're simply the way that we feel. Emotions aren't right or wrong. They're simply the way that we feel. What is your emotional health? There's now a level in leadership that they use emotional intelligence, right? Your emotional IQ. That's part of leadership. Leaders now are measured by their ability to respond in stressful situations, etc. But our emotion, man, emotional, being stable, understanding why we think and feel the way that we do. Here's a quick emotional examination test that you could do on yourself. Ask yourself these questions, and unfortunately, I would have these questions usually written up and put up, but this is just like on the spot. Here are the questions that I ask myself these questions on the regular. Question number one: how do I see myself? How do I see myself? Right? How do I see myself? How do other people see me? Question number one: how do I see myself? Question number two: how do other people see me? Right? Question number three is how do I want to be seen? And then question number four is what do I have to do to become the person that I desire to be seen as? Let me give you these questions again, friend, because this is all part of emotional health. Last month was the month of May. May was Mental Health Awareness Month. From my estimation, my personal experience, every month is mental health awareness. You got to protect your mental health no, it's not like your life does depend on it. Question number one, how do I see myself? Question number two, how do others see me? Question number three, how do I want to be seen? Question number four, what do I have to do to become the person that I want to be seen as? What do I have to do to become the person that I want to be seen as? Now, listen, friend, it doesn't matter if you are a person that likes to be alone, etc. It doesn't matter to me. Socially, how do I fit into society? Socially, how do I fit into the workplace, the environment? Let me say this about work. Work was never designed. I don't know if I should say it now and say it. Well, I'll say it now since I started it. You're probably thinking about it. Work was never designed to make you wealthy. Socially, how do I fit into the moral compass for life? Some people believe there are many paths to their spiritual enlightenment. Now, for me, friend, for me personally, there's only one way. For me personally, I'm just talking about rich now, right? My relationship with Jesus Christ is important. That's part of that spiritual development or the moral compass, right? For our lives that other people don't. But spirituality is that moral compass. You can't have situational ethic. You can't be one way with one group of people and another with another group of people. That's not a good, solid moral compass. Anyways, enough on that. And eating the supercomputer, which is the brain. Now, I love the supercomputer. I love the brain. It's very impressive. The brain is extremely impressive. I was reading some stats one time that's talking about the power of the brain, the mind. It's a supercomputer, right? If we could build a building, structure a facility to contain the capacity of the mind, we would have to build a building as high as the Empire State Building in New York. Listen, it would take all the water that went over the Niagara Falls in a year to cool this super brain, this super mind, this supercomputer, right? So the brain is impressive. Mental health experts tell us that we only use about 10% of our conscious mind. Oh, think about this. This is powerful here when we talk about this supercomputer and the mental health. Mental health experts tell us that we think about 50 to 75,000 thoughts a day, 50, somewhere around 50 or 70,000 thoughts a day. Here's the thing that got my attention. About 80 or 90% of those thoughts are the same. 70,000 thoughts a day, 90% of those 70,000 thoughts, 63,000 of the 70,000 thoughts are the same. There's a lot going on up here. You got 70,000 thoughts. You got 63,000 estimated roughly. 63,000 thoughts you're not even thinking about, but the brain, the supercomputer, is doing it for you. Ever read a book and don't and have to go back and reread the page or reread a page? Ever been driving home from a destination and you get to ever been driving home from an event and you get to your destination and you say, man, I don't even remember getting here. What happened? Part of you went on autopilot. The supercomputer put part of you on autopilot while it wandered around and thought about and did other things. Right? The supercomputer, intellectual. The seventh pillar in life is financial. Profit versus wages is one of the things that I love to talk about. But financial life is equally, to me, equally important. My physical life. Now, for some of you, I can get that the good book says that, beloved, I wish that you be in health and prosper, even as your soul prosper. Right? Be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So there's a connection between how I feel inwardly and my financial success. Let me put it to you a different way. Your income, right, and outcome is greatly determined by who you become. So it's that important. And then finally, the eighth pillar is an environment that you're feeling a certain amount of peace in it. I'm telling you, friend, the Motivate podcast, we're going to have conversations around these eight pillars. I'm super, super excited. I'm so thankful and grateful for this platform. We got some great conversations coming up in later episodes on how to be a champion, elite mindset. We're going to talk a little bit more about the mental health. Got financial experts. We're going to talk about investing. We're going to talk about real estate. I mean, we're going to cover that. We're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to talk about sex. Woo-hoo-hoo. I love talking about it. We're going to talk about it, right? Because my goal is, our desire is, we want to touch we want to have conversation about the whole man. The whole man. That's what our focus is. I'm so excited. The Motivate podcast, man. I'm telling you, we say less, but we are definitely believing for more. Let's get it.
Pull me closer.